Let's join the crew back in the States as they show us the new Benjamin air rifle and spend some time with young hunters.
You got it. Good job. Good job, Jake.
When Ray and I and Keith all started the force, we wanted it to mean something. We wanted it to have purpose. We no longer wanted to go on the Outdoor Channel and it all be about hunting or where we're at or what species we're hunting. We wanted it to have purpose. We wanted to highlight people from all walks of life that are really a force in our community and our industry. People that have given their time, their money, and their resources in order to bring other people to the sport. It all started when my boys turned about 12 or 13 years old, and their friends started to come around, and they wanted to learn how to shoot a bow, and then my boys were there to influence them. A lot of those kids might have played video games, they weren't real outdoorsy, but once they got a bow in their hand, it changed their life. And so I started thinking about what we call Project Give Back, and every year I bring some kids together and I either teach them archery or I teach them about firearms. Benjamin Air Rifles and I were talking back and forth. They decided they were going to send some rifles out, and I would have this great field day where I would invite kids that may have never even shot a firearm before. But we were going to get a bunch of kids together, girls and boys, bring them all together, and then just have a nice little shoot day. Okay, you guys ready? We got quite a little obstacle course set up. Ready to shoot?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in. Get your hands in. Get your hands in. 1, 2, 3, you're a force. 1, 2, 3, you're a force. Yeah. One of the things that really impressed me when we got the kids is they didn't miss. I mean, they put the crosshairs on this gun right out of the box, made a few adjustments, got them in the prone position. They laid in there. We take our first test shot at about 40 yards, and every time they're putting it in the pop can. Then we started to back up the distance, and they just didn't miss. These air rifles were so accurate, wherever we pointed the crosshairs, that's where the impact was.
Perfect. Yeah!
When you put a girl in a gun for the first time and you take away her fear, many times they're much better shots than the boys. We had several girls in the group that this was their first exposure to firearms. My hope is that they're going to go home and talk to their dad about the experience that they had, and hopefully kindle that relationship between the two of them, and hopefully be able to get out and enjoy this. Even if they don't become hunters, even if they don't become sportsmen, at least they'll have a better understanding of the love that we have for it, and hopefully be the future voters to be able to keep our gun rights alive and free. You know, Charlton Heston was an absolute army for the NRA. And there was an amazing speech, one of his last ones he ever gave, and he basically said, if we focus on anti-gun legislation but we ignore anti-gun generation, if we spend all of our time legislating and none of our time mentoring, in one generation we will have failed. All of our gun rights could very easily be taken away from us. Our next generation is so important that we put firearms, the responsibility, the love, and everything about that firearm in those kids' hands so that they can carry that torch. Less and less. I mean, if you go into a Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation meeting, if you go to a Safari Club International meeting, if you go to an NRA meeting, if you go to the local sporting goods store, less and less of those kids are being taught the love of the outdoors, and that's what it's all about. These kids are our future force. They're the kids that are going to carry the torch, and hopefully something as simple as putting an air gun in their hand and them shooting a couple of cans will influence that.